Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's preview of the Lions versus the Griquas this weekend. The big news is, first of all, that the match is actually going ahead, which was confirmed today, obviously, despite a lot of major issues within the Lions camp regarding COVID-19. A lot of players who are positive and a lot of players who were exposed and were in quarantine. But as a result of the game being cancelled last weekend, it does mean that certain players have served a certain amount of isolation period. So there's been a big boost in the starting lineup, and on the opposite sort of spectrum, a lot of changes for the Griquas, and we're going to speak about them all more as we go. But before we go any further, please do consider subscribing. Bottom right hand corner over there. Really do appreciate your support. Trying to grow the channel, get people involved, get the fans involved. We are for the fans, by the fans. So please do consider subscribing, smash a like as well, and jump in the comments and let me know what you think of the teams. So let's start with the Griquas, actually, I think, which would be a good place to go, because the big thing is that only 6 players who played against Pumas 2 weeks ago, obviously Griquas had a bye last weekend, only 6 players have actually retained their positions in the starting lineup, and this is because, disastrous, 3 players have actually moved to other unions within those last 2 weeks. So Anthony Volmink, Victor Sikakete, and Ian Groenewald have all moved to other unions. Volmink has joined the Sharks, while Sikakete and Groenewald have both joined the Cheetahs. So a big blow for the Griquas, who have literally just lost 3 major players. And so they've got a completely different side with just 6 players. I mean, that's a lot of new faces, you know. I mean 9 new faces in a starting lineup against a Lions side, which is a lot better, in my opinion, than what we're going to put out over against Cheetahs. So whether you all stand and stuff like that, I think what the whole match being called off situation has showed is that this is going to be a tournament where, you know, there's going to be major issues, and there's going to be, and I don't think it's going to not unfairly or knowingly favor any side. I think it's just going to be a situation where some sides will get the worst or the brunt of certain effects. But it's one of those things where if you're affected by 1 or 2 players, the game can go ahead. You're still affected. But if it's a case of a lot of players, then games can't go ahead, and then it comes to games being cancelled, games being shared points. So it's a lot of sort of issues that they need to iron out, which is why I keep saying when it comes to this entire tournament, you just need to treat it as face value. You know, this is not the normal Super Rugby, it's not the normal Curry Cup. At the end of the day, it's just a competition to sort of fill a bit of a gap in the calendar and to get players playing. So if you look at the Griquas side, here how they line up 1 through 15. So the props: Andrew Beerwinkel and Ewald van der Westhuizen. H.J. Lewis will be the hooker in between them. Nzwalele, Zito, and Andre Smith are the locks. Gideon van der Merwe, Stefan Willemse, and Carl Els are the loose trio. Zach Berger will partner George Whitehead, who captains the side. Edwin Cater, Andre Swartz, Harlan Klaassen, Eloise Arenza, and James Verity-Am are the backline. So quite an inexperienced side, but, you know, a chance for a lot of players to step up. And I think, you know, with so many players leaving and some players injured, some players, you know, just resting on the bench. And I think both props who started against the Pumas are on the bench. But yeah, it's just one of those things. They're going to have to unfortunately adapt and just work with what they've got, which is why I keep saying that, you know, you can't judge any side fairly on the current situation. You definitely can't judge the likes of the Griquas, Pumas, and the even the Cheetahs as fairly as the other sides, because they just haven't played as much rugby, especially the Griquas and the Pumas, who haven't had much rugby in the last, haven't played any rugby at all this year, really, because, you know, the COVID-19 came in before the competitions and stuff got going. So just as much as you can't really fairly judge some of the Super Rugby sides because they've been so badly affected by the virus in terms of players literally being out and stuff like that, and all these players who have, you know, taken up contracts overseas, but so much movement. And that's why I keep saying this, you know, we can enjoy the competition, and obviously, you know, you can't take away anything from the winner, but it is a dilute competition in many ways because of all these various issues both on and off the field. But if you look at the Lions, for me, a much better team than what was potentially going to run out last weekend. And for me, especially the backline excites me a lot. So if you look at Steve Satole, Jaco Vasaki, they've been playing all the games as Carlos Sari. So the standard front trio. Ruben Scruben and Marvin Orie. Willem Albert's obviously testing positive. He is still unavailable. MJ Pulser comes in for Jaco Creel. for the last game that they were supposed to play. Vincent Tuka keeps his place. Len Massane will start. Maury van den Berg will partner Elton Yankees. So that is a big thing. Yankees was fine COVID related last week, but had a bit of a calf injury, but he is back and will captain the side. And then Court Oscar Sun makes his eagerly anticipated return, a position where I think that the Lions will really enjoy having him. Dan Creel starts inside centre, and very excitingly, Wandisile Similani will start outside him. Steon Pienaar comes back in the side as well, and Gianni Lombard. So an entire new outside back combination. And I think, Lombard at 15, I think EW Faneuil's done a very good job. But I really, really like Lombard, and I really want to see more of him. And I'm very excited that he's going to get a chance to run out at full back. And then on the bench, a big name there, Ruan Drea coming back with Yannick du Plessis. So looks like Ruan Drea will cover the, well, Yannick can also play both sides. Yannick will probably play as a loose head. And then we've got Creel back on the bench and Burger Odendaal. So yeah, some big changes within the Lions from the Cheetah side and a much better side. And I think, Jaco Creel has been a player that's struggling to get going, and I think coming off the bench might be a really good thing for him, because I think he needs a bit of confidence, and maybe playing against a team that's a bit tired and stuff like that, he can really become an impact player. And I think he hasn't been playing as well as we know he can be. He hasn't been bad before anybody gets upset, but we got so used to the Jaco Creel we saw of 2-3 years ago, and he was just one of the best, if not the best player on the park, week in, week out. And he's been a bit subdued, and I think Vincent Tuka has actually been the standout player within the pack so far. So some big moves there for the Lions, and an opportunity for them to get a first win of the tournament. And I think they were up against it against the Cheetahs, and if they were to go play it. But to be fair, they both wanted to play the game. It has come out that both sides were keen to play the fixture, but unfortunately, because of the policies and stuff like that set out by the National Disease Committee and all that sort of thing, they just couldn't. It just wasn't within the regulations. So a very exciting match. It's Friday night, 7 o'clock. Really looking forward to it. Both sides trying to look to get their first win of the tournament. And for the Lions, a big chance to prove that they are still the dominant side they are. They struggled in Super Rugby, and they played reasonably well against Sharks and Stormers, but couldn't get over the line. So now they need to get over the line. They need to put in an 18-minute performance from the get-go to the last whistle, assert the dominance, and get over the line. So, in theory, our predicted Lions win. I think that is, given the change in the Griquas, given the boost the Lions have had with so many good players, I think the Lions should win the match. And I'm really hoping that the backline clicks. I really like to see Lombard and Similani really come on. I think not even from a Lions point of view, but just from a South African point of view, they are such exciting players, future Springboks, and players that I think will take it up to the next level. And hopefully this is a chance for them to put their hands up. Equally, the likes of Vincent Tuka. I mean, we talk about future Springboks. I think those three are definitely players who I think that the Lions need to invest in. Those three with Tyron Green were sort of like the future of the Lions Union. So now it's time for them to get the opportunity and step up, put their hand up, and prove why they are so talked about. As always, please do consider subscribing. Bottom right hand corner there, smash the like, as well as jump in the comments. Let me know what you think of the lineups. Let me know what you think of is going to happen on Friday, some score predictions, all of that in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.